The Supreme Court today has given out no kind of stay on the Election Commission's order which had given out the bow and arrow symbol to the Eknath Shinde faction. I have with me Mr. Mahesh Jeth Malani, senior advocate, jurist and also the lawyer for Eknath Shinde. So welcome to CNN News 18. My first question to you is, the Supreme Court was very clear in its direction that there cannot be a stay on the Election Commission order at this stage. Why so, if you could explain to our viewers?
Well, it's a very detailed reasoned order, and they want to see, they've seen the petition of the other side, they want to see the reply of the Eknath Shinde side, and then post the matter for a full hearing, right? They won't give a stay, in such a quick, premature stage. So the Supreme Court is absolutely right in what it's done. But, it's not that the Uddhav Thackeray group has completely lost everything, because there's still a final hearing to go, maybe a month or so down the line.
Sir, there was a constant demand from the side of Uddhav Thackeray by Mr. Kapil Sibal that their bank accounts are being freezed, everything is being taken over. But is it because of the EC order, we want to understand?
No, the EC has nothing to do. Look, the EC only decides that when there are two groups, each claiming to be the real party, in this case the Shiv Sena, right? It only decides who has a claim to being the real party on various well laid down Supreme Court parameters. Right? On those parameters, right, the EC has said the Eknath Shinde group deserves to be recognized as the real Shiv Sena. Right? And the symbol therefore comes to the Eknath Shinde group, the bow and arrow. That's all that has been actually decided. I mean, the net result of this hearing, that's it. Now, as a consequence of becoming a Shiv Sena, the real Shiv Sena, all the properties come to the Shiv Sena. Obviously, they belong to the party. If the Eknath Shinde group is the party, then the Eknath Shinde group will be entitled to all those assets. Right? But the EC has no jurisdiction to say give them the property and so on and so forth.
Sir, but this has been the constant thing for the Uddhav Thackeray faction, not only legally but also politically, that they're taking away our properties, they're taking away our bank accounts. How do you see this actually politically as well?
I don't know. See, that's the political decisions. I'm not a member of the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde group. I'm a member of the BJP, right? So I can't speak for what Eknath Shinde's future course of actions are going to be. I'm not even privy to them. Right? I don't advise him on his future course of actions. He's a very matured, politician. He will take what he do what he thinks is right.
Legally speaking, orders of constitutional bodies like Election Commission of India or any other constitutional body for that matter, how much of a scope does remain when the orders are coming from a body like the Election Commission of India or any other constitutional body? Because because since I've also been covering Supreme Court for a very long time, I've always seen the Supreme Court saying that it does not interfere in the constitutional body orders until unless there's something very grave in there.
That's true. I mean, in my opinion, it's a very well-reasoned order that the Election Commission has passed. It has to be considered. I mean, it has to be, and there's a limited jurisdiction for any court, the Supreme Court, or if they'd gone to the High Court under 226. There's a limited scope for interference. There is something to be. There's a substantial question of law which the Election Commission has decided wrongly, or a very perverse appreciation of the facts. That is the scope of the jurisdiction.
There was a constant argument from your side that this petition is not maintainable. Why?
No, our side argued that it should first go to the High. Not that it's not maintainable, but there was an alternative forum, right? That the High Court, you could file a writ under 226, right? So that's because entertaining an appeal, SLP, under 136 of the Constitution, right? To be a little technical, is discretionary. The Supreme Court doesn't have to do it. And when there is an alternative remedy under 226, you can go to the High Court. So the only suggestion, why didn't they go to the High Court first? But the Supreme Court is perfectly entitled to say, no, we'll hear this ourselves.
How much of it does remain with the Thackeray faction legally? Because already the Election Commission has passed out its order with the symbol row. And also a very persistent question that the general public is also asking is whether the proceedings of the Constitution bench and the proceedings that are going on before the three judges bench, are they anyway interconnected, or some link is there between them?
No, there is actually no link. One is only deciding, right, which group. The Election Commission has a very limited jurisdiction, right? Which group is the real Shiv Sena out of two groups, each claiming to be the Shiv Sena, and therefore which group is entitled to the symbol. That's one aspect. The other aspect is whether all that happened between 21st June and 30th June, right, is something which was illegal, and therefore there should be a reversal of, even the other side contends that even of the new government, to the extent that the new government, right, should be taken away by the Supreme Court and Mr. Uddhav Thackeray restored as Chief Minister.
But then he himself resigned as the Chief
Yes,
Minister.
that's the point, right? But the matter is sub judice. You hit the nail on the head, and that is probably the answer, but this court has to decide it.
The last and final question before I actually end this is that since already the Constitution bench is hearing and there is already a proceeding going on before the three judges bench, so what majorly was the Election Commission of India's basis on deciding this particular symbol row, and whether there was some kind of a stay operating in that particular case?
What do you mean? Whether
Well, the Election Commission of India actually decided this symbol row, and already there is a proceeding going on before the Constitution bench also. So was there some kind of a stay? Because we had seen Mr. Kapil Sibal also saying that the EC should not have decided this, or EC should not have gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's done this before, but the Supreme Court has clearly said that the pendency of this reference before us does not in any way deprive the EC of its jurisdiction.
So this was Senior Advocate Mahesh Jeth Malani, lawyers for the Eknath Shinde, and he clearly spoke to us after the order from the Supreme Court has come in, and the Supreme Court has issued notice and has sought a response from the Eknath Shinde faction and also from the Election Commission of India in this particular case. I am Anand Bhattacharya with video journalist Chintan Puri for CNN News 18.